I should not even be here today. I have a list of problems. I wake up every morning, can't even hardly walk. I don't take drugs. I don't take any pain medications or anything because I don't want to be addicted to it. I push through it. I pray a lot. You just got to do what you got to do. I'm a strong woman. I've been through a lot, but when you've been kicked to the curb, it does something to somebody. You feel like you failed as a person.
I grew to love Miss Wells. When I first talked to Miss Wells on the phone, she had basically given up. She told me, I'm just going to pack my stuff up and go. And I offered to go to court with her, and I really had to convince her a little bit to let me go because she had just kind of assumed that there wasn't any way to win. The only reason she was behind on rent was because she was affected by the pandemic. She lost work and then was unable to go back to work because of her underlying health conditions. And we were under a CDC order that said you should not be evicting people for non-payment of rent if it's because of the pandemic. And textbook example of who this program is supposed to help is being evicted. I just knew from the very beginning it wasn't fair, and I was going to do what I could to stand up for her.
I felt proud. I mean, I was nervous when I went in because I was nervous about losing my home and all that at first. But every court date that we went into, I had no worries whatsoever because I knew Miss Jones don't play.
Ms. Wells applied for that rental relief program the day applications were first being accepted. So she was doing everything she was supposed to. I made sure she knew about it, she applied, she was doing her part. But the landlord decided he didn't want to participate in the program. So I then contacted the agency that was administering those funds and paid the landlord on behalf of Ms. Wells through that agency. So even though he didn't want to work with us, we found a way to make it happen.
She fought for me like I was her family. It shocked me because, you know, when you try to go and get help from government assistance or anything like that, they just see you as a case. But it was like she really felt like it was happening to her. That's how hard she fought for me. I have hope that it's going to get better. I would say it's a new lease on life and a new perspective about life. I'm just going to keep continuing and working and trying to be the best that I could be. I mean, she had faith in me, so I need to have faith in me.
A couple of years ago, I met a man I thought completely different of whom he actually was. Turned out he was a drug addict, abusive, very abusive. And I got stuck because I didn't want to be homeless. And he would abuse the dog. He would beat me up. He broke my glasses, which Legal Aid helped me get a new pair. I didn't even know what Legal Aid was. I found out through Greenhouse Ministries. I went there to get food. I was living in my truck, me and my dog. And they suggested that I contact Legal Aid, that they could help me get a divorce and maybe some other things, in which they did all that above and beyond. They've helped me in so many ways. Like, they've lifted me up, even on a personal level, things that didn't even have to do with legal things. It's hope when you didn't have hope.
Miss Waltman came to us. She's a survivor of domestic abuse. She was pretty fresh out of that relationship. She was experiencing homelessness at the time. She was without a job. And now we've been working with her for almost a year, and she's transformed in a lot of ways. She's found stable housing. She's employed. She's a very resilient person. She's overcome a lot. She's very strong, and it's been a pleasure to work with her and see that growth.
I did her initial interview for her divorce, and I talked to her about the Victims Compensation Program because she had injuries that they would cover, and I work with her side by side through her divorce with her attorney. She's a totally different person now than she was. She was frightened, insecure, and didn't know what she was going to do. And now she's become like a friend to us. We were able to help her gain security and independence and get on her feet again. And I can see the type of person that she's always been now.
Poverty is such a cycle. So in Miss Waltman's case, she was abused, and that assault caused her to lose her housing. It caused her to lose her job. All those are things that are stacked against you and make it hard to move on. But when you have someone on your side and you have someone fighting for you, as those things start to turn, it removes different barriers and it helps you get your life back on track.
Alex and Jenny were amazing through the entire process, and there was times I couldn't even pay my phone bill, and they didn't give up on me. And I've got gainful employment because they helped me expunge things from my records, so now I'm working. I found a tiny place that I can afford. It's teeny tiny, me and my little dog. But it's a roof. It's better than my truck, and it only goes up from here. And I thank Legal Aid for that.
It's hard to grasp the enormity of the consequences an eviction may have on a person's life. The consequences are lifelong, both financially and emotionally. Even with a clean rental history, people struggle to find safe, healthy, affordable options. Combine that with finding job opportunities close to home or near public transportation, the options for people are limited. That's why the attorneys at Legal Aid Society work hard to keep clients in their homes.
We were about to get evicted from our apartment, and a friend of ours told us to try to do legal aid, and my husband was the one who called, and we found Zach, and he's just been a godsend ever since.
He said, let me look into it. I've got a few programs that I think I could do. It just took such a weight off of our shoulders. I don't know what we would have done. Still wouldn't have a vehicle. And then since then, I found out about the cancer. And
since my husband got sick, he's been out of work. We've been trying to do his disability. The job I had before all this happened, I've been there for 18 years. I was the only one working, and even with that, we were having financial problems. And then I got my leg amputated, and it was like, well, what do we do now? We can't even pay our power bill.
I've never had to reach out for food stamps or anything in my whole life. I've always worked with my hands and feet. It's like a hole that's easy for you to find yourself to get into, but it's almost impossible to get out.
We understand that helping someone with their eviction case requires a holistic approach because in many cases, there may be an abundance of other legal needs that led to the housing problem.
1 minute he's so healthy and everything, and then the next minute we're talking about his funeral arrangements. It's like, it's not fair. We've been through so much already. And then Zach came in the picture and helped us with our rent. We wouldn't have nothing if we never made that phone call to legal aid. I mean, it made me feel good that there's good people out there that will help you, you know, and it really made me feel like a person again, you know. So it's thanks to legal aid, because if it wasn't for y'all, we don't know where we'd be at.
You say a lot of prayers and try to have a lot of faith. Ours, it came through.